Thank you, John, for agreeing to interview with us. And what I'd like to know from you is, what is the John Demartini Method?
The Demartini Method is a culmination of studying human behavior and psychology. And it is a series of questions that allow us, when answered, to see an underlying order in our activities and in our life that we don't normally see. Most of us are taking our initial perceptions of things and reacting to things, instead of looking a little deeper and finding the balance of nature and the hidden order that's actually going on in life. So the Demartini Method is a scientific way of awakening inside our minds an awareness of the things that go on in our life that lead us to not see things as burdening and emotionally distraught, but as actually something that allows us to say thank you, I love you, or grateful for life. So it's a science of helping people open their heart and being grateful for things that occur in their life, so they're not victims of their history, they can be masters of their destiny. So it's a series of very specific questions that allows you to see the balance that's inherent in our daily life that we don't normally see. And allows us to take our initial impressions that cause us to react and go probing deeper and finding out how to see things in a way that we can be grateful for. So often we have these events in our life that we feel overwhelmed by, burdened by, stressed by, emotionally trying to us. And the Demartini Method with these questions allows us to see things so we can turn that same experience into something that's a great opportunity. It's taking our scars and making them stars, taking our crisis and turning them into blessings, and taking these things that we think are holding us back and in the way to become things that are pushing us forward on the way.
So, John, you've mentioned taking various situations in our lives, balancing them, removing that emotion. So what are some of these situations that you would use the Demartini Method on?
Well, I've been pretty blessed to be able to work with people of all different types and all different ages with all different issues. I mean, we have sometimes children that have difficulties learning and have been labeled by teachers, therapists, counselors, principals, or parents, and they've had difficulty in school. And the Demartini Method has helped these children transcend these labels, show them how to empower their lives and extract and learn more effectively. I have other people that have had a conflict in their family and they couldn't find meaning in it, to be able to find the order in it and use it to their advantage and strengthen them instead of becoming a burden. I've had people that have had incest and sexual issues or rapes and have been burdened by it and affecting their relationships and fearing having children and having anger towards people that are part of their family or people that should have protected them or something. And all this emotion around, this drama around it, helping them sort through with the Demartini Method in a way where they don't have to be burdened by it anymore. It's not that the events didn't occur, it's not ignoring the events, it's just helping you see the events in some completely different insight and light where you can actually see things in a way where you can extract meaning and value out of it and be more purposeful from that experience. I've had people that have deaths that are in grief, and the methodology is very profound. I mean, it's amazingly profound. Dissolving the grief, instead of waiting months or years to deal with the issue of the death, allows you to find some meaning in it and be grateful, because many times people are distraught only because they haven't learned how to process the experience. And the Demartini Method allows them to process it in a way where they can actually say thank you. Not just because the person died, but because if you were to die, you really wouldn't want people to be sitting there mourning and grieving for the rest of their life. So the most honorable thing we can do is process through it and find them and extract meaning out of it and get on with our lives and live life to the fullest. So the method teaches us how to do that. Then there's people that have had loss in business, maybe bankruptcy, or they've had their house destroyed. This has happened before where I've seen earthquakes or floods or these types of things, where they've just been devastated in their minds. And they're so shocked, they don't even know where to begin. And there's so many things in their life that just don't know how to sort through. The Demartini Method allows you to go through it, sort one by one the experiences, and put the pieces back together again. Put the puzzle of life back together, where you can now go, okay, I can stand on this experience and grow from it and move forward and not be burdened by it. Because anything we can't say thank you for in our life becomes burden and baggage, and anything we can say thank you for becomes fuel. So it's a very powerful tool on how to transform the perceptions that we've had into opportunities. There's William James, the father of modern psychology, who said that the greatest discovery of our generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their perceptions and attitudes of mind. And the Demartini Method is the most cutting edge, most profound way of transforming the perceptions and attitudes of mind that I know of, in a way of literally taking things that are, as I said, in the way and turning them on the way. And I've been blessed to take people through almost every imaginable thing. I mean, we've had challenges with divorce, challenges with the kids in this. People have affairs. People have been laid off from work. I mean, I could go on and on. We've found over 1,000 different applications in business, mergers and acquisition issues and conflicts. It's used for that. When they're all of a sudden having over and underproductive people, and there's this conflict between the egos, it's used for that. When people feel low self-worth and they don't feel that they're empowered in their life, and they're beating themselves up, and they're not even realizing that somewhere else they're grandizing themselves, and these polarities inside them can be integrated by the Demartini Method. They may be depressed. I mean, a lot of people come in with depressions, and they don't realize that there's a way of sorting through that, or bipolar conditions, or even schizophrenic states. And there's ways of processing that to re-empower them and give them their life back again. And it sounds almost too good to be true, and people, they don't believe it's possible to actually, in a methodology, be able to do this. But the real truth is that it really does make a difference, and it has helped thousands of people. I full-time travel around the world today, literally full-time, because I don't know of anything I would rather be doing but letting people know about it and helping people experience this. I've just been blessed. I work in Africa with kids in Africa and learning problems, and I work with prisons, and I work with the municipalities and police departments. I work with corporates. I work with financial institutions, religious institutions. I mean, we've got ministers using this work. We've got psychologists using this work, psychiatrists using this work. We've got corporate consultants and coaches, sports personalities and other coaches working with it. We have a golfer that just won the British Open because of it. It's how to salespeople who don't want to be intimidated by people, and how to close the gap between themselves and the people they put on pedestals. I mean, it's got 1,000 applications, and there's no way I can do it justice. So you got to experience it, and you got to go through it to really comprehend it, the significance of it. I started working on this back when I was in my teens. When I was 18 years old, 19 years old, I was on a quest to try to find a way of empowering people and helping people live magnificent, inspired lives. And I've been working on this now this is my 39th year. So the method is, I've been using clinically for 25 years. And to literally, I don't know how many people, tens of thousands of people, I don't even have a count on it. But it's been actually culminating in trying to figure out how this thing works, studying neurology, physiology, psychology, philosophy, theology, brain research, neurochemistries. I mean, everything I can get my hands on to try to figure out how to maximize human awareness potential has been my focus. And the Demartini Method is the culmination of all these years of working on it. And it is, it's truly profound. I mean, if you saw what I saw on a daily basis with the work, you would probably do what I do. You'd probably travel around the world trying to make sure people knew about it. Because there's so many things that people are going through that they don't know that they can dissolve and find the blessings to, and find the order to, and move through it instead of be frustrated by it and overwhelmed by it. So I don't know if I'm answering your question, but hopefully I'm getting the point across that it's a very powerful method, and it's an idea whose time has come, and it's revolutionizing the psychological industry because it works. It's a science that's reproducible. I can train somebody on it, they can get the same results. It works when you do it. You just got to work it.
John, I think you've hit the nail on the head. I don't think we need to go any further. That's very profound and powerful. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.